Hi students, how are you? Hope you are all fine and doing well. And first of all, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, Knox Way to Learn. And in this class today, we are going to discuss one of the easiest topics in intermediate second year English, interpretation of non-verbal information. Interpretation of non-verbal information. In our public examination, under question number 9, a diagram is given, and under the diagram there will be 5 questions. Now we need to answer the 5 questions by studying the given diagram, for which we will get 5 marks. Okay, so before learning how to answer this question, first of all we have to know the meaning of the topic interpretation of non-verbal information. So, what is the meaning of interpretation? The meaning of interpretation is understanding. The meaning of interpretation is understanding. So, what is the meaning of non-verbal? Non-verbal means our communication. Communication is two types: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Whenever we are communicating with others, if we use oral words or written words, that is called verbal communication. Okay, understand? When we communicate with others, if we use spoken words or oral words or written words, that is called verbal communication. But without using any oral words or written words, if you communicate with others by using any diagrams or pictures, that is called non-verbal communication. That means in non-verbal communication, we cannot find any words, whether it may be oral or written. But the communication is taken place by using only any pictures or diagrams. That kind of communication is called non-verbal communication. Okay, and when comparing to verbal communication, non-verbal communication is very important and effective, because our human brains are designed to process the information very easily when the information is visual rather than spoken or written. That is the nature of our human brains. So in that sense, non-verbal communication is very important and effective when comparing to verbal communication. So in our public examination, there will be a diagram, and under the diagram some 5 questions are given. We have to answer the 5 questions by studying the given diagram. So, but before knowing how to answer that question, we have to know how many different types of diagrams or pictures. Generally, from our examination point of view, 5 diagrams are there. First one is pie chart. Pie chart. Second one is tree diagram. And the third one is table. And the fourth one is bar diagram, and finally fifth one is flow chart. Okay, so you can expect any one of these 5 diagrams in your public examination. Now let's know one by one what is what. What is pie chart, what is tree diagram, what is table, what is bar diagram, and what is flow chart. So first, pie chart. A pie chart is a circular diagram which is divided into sectors, and each sector represents one item. Okay, for like that, you take a circle. If you take the circle like this, and this is the center of the circle, if you divide this circle into sectors like this is called pie diagram. So in this pie diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 sectors, and each sector represents one value or one item. Okay, so they are shown with different designs or colors like this. Okay, so in this way. So this kind of diagrams are called pie charts. Okay, so the total values of all the items in this pie diagram are equated to 360 degrees, because you already know that in a circle the total angle is 360 degrees. So in our public examination, some kind of questions, some pie chart questions can be given, you can expect. Of course, we can practice these later. So this is pie chart. And the next one is tree diagram. So tree diagram means the information starts at a single point and it divides into different branches, one or two branches, and it continues and so on. For example, you take one point like this. This point is divided into 2 or 3 parts like this, and again this can be divided into 3 parts, and the process continues like this. So this kind of diagrams are called tree diagrams. Suppose if you take intermediate here, so intermediate can be divided into MPC, BPC, CAC, HAC, like that. And in MPC also again English medium, Telugu medium, if we divide like this. So we take a starting point, and from that starting point the information is divided into branches like this, and it continues like that. So that is called tree diagram. And the third one is table. So you already know table. So if the given information is given in this format like this, that is called table. Okay, and the next one is bar diagram. So you take graph. On this graph, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. On x-axis you take some values, and on y-axis you take some values. So if you draw some bars like this, these are called bars. So this is called bar diagram. Okay, understand? And each bar represents one value, and the length and width and height of the bars vary continuously depending on the value of the items. This type of diagrams are called bar diagrams. Okay, next, flow chart. A flow chart is a process which represents a sequential or directional operations. For example, computer programs are written in flowchart format. Okay, so these are usually given in our public examination: pie chart, tree diagram, table, bar diagram, and flowchart. Now let us do some practice on all these 5 types of diagrams from our examination point of view. So on the display, you just look at the pie diagram given. So pie chart showing the amount of water we use for different purposes. Okay, you just look at the diagram and see the text. Pie chart showing the amount of water we use for different purposes. Okay, here one pie diagram is given, and above the pie diagram there is the heading, how much water do we use. So first of all we have to study the given diagram. So this diagram is about the usage of water in our daily life. So how is the water used? The pie chart, the circle is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sectors, and they are represented with different colors. Now let's start with the sector which is green in color. So we use the water for the purpose of clothes washes, 21.7% of water. So we use 21.7% of water for washing clothes. Next, faucet. Faucet means we use some water at sinks or wash basins, that is called faucet. For that purpose we use 15.7%. Next, shower. For taking shower we use 16.8% of water. And for toilet purpose we use 26.7%. And leaks. So generally some water is leaked in our houses. So leaks are 13.7%. and others are 5.3%. This is the total usage of water in an ordinary or an average person's daily life. So this is the information given. So from where this information is taken? Source. American Water Works Association Research Foundation, Residential End Users of Water 1999. This is the source. From this source this information has been taken. So after studying the diagram like this, you just go to the question. So you look at the first question. What does the pie chart show? What does the pie chart show? Generally the answer for the first question can be found in the question itself. So at the starting you can say that you can see pie chart showing the amount of water we use for different purposes, that is given. Okay, so you can write the answer as the amount of water we use for different purposes. Okay, understand? That is the answer for the first question. Next, look at the second question. For what do we use maximum water? For what do we use maximum water? So obviously if you look at the pie diagram, you can understand that for toilet purpose we are using maximum amount of water, because that is 26.7%. Okay, when comparing to other uses, toilet usage is much more larger, so that is 26.7%. so the answer to this question is for what purpose? Okay, so toilet. The second question answer is toilet. Next, third one. How many types of usage of water is taken into consideration in the diagram? How many types of usage of water is taken into consideration in the diagram? So if you just count the number of sectors, you can find the answer. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sectors are given. So the answer is 6. Next, fourth question. How much water is wasted on leaks? So definitely this is on leaks 13.7% of water is wasted. So the answer is 13.7%. Next, last question. What is the source of information? What is the source of information? So you can clearly see that the source is American Water Works Association Research Foundation. That's enough. Okay, American Water Works Association Research Foundation. So in this way we can answer all the 5 questions very easily. So you can expect 5 out of 5 marks in this topic in your public examination. Okay, understand? So pie diagrams are like this. Now let's see another diagram, tree diagram. Okay, you look at the diagram on the display. Here the following tree diagram shows the different types of human memory. So in this tree diagram different types of human memory is shown. So human memory, this is basically divided into 3 parts, 3 types. First one is sensory memory. Sensory memory, this is for less than 1 second. Okay, whenever we go to the road or into the market, we happen to see so many people, but in the very next moment we forget their faces. That memory will be for just 1 second. That is called sensory memory. So this is for less than 1 second. Second one is short term memory, that is working memory. This memory will be for less than 1 minute. Okay, if you remember one thing for less than 1 minute and if you forget it after 1 minute, that is called short term memory. And the third type is long term memory, that means lifetime long term memory. And again this long term memory can be divided into 2 parts, 2 branches again. So that is explicit memory, conscious, and implicit memory, unconscious. Explicit memory and implicit memory, conscious and unconscious. And under explicit memory you can see declarative memory, facts and events. And here under implicit memory you can see procedural memory. So in bracket skills and task. Here you need not study deeply. Okay, understand? You just try to understand what is given, that is enough. You need not study deeply, okay, the given information. And again the declarative memory, facts and events, is again divided into two branches, episodic memory and semantic memory. Episodic memory, events and experiences. Semantic memory, example, facts and concepts. So this is the tree diagram given here. So after studying the tree diagram like this, we have to go to the question. So what is the first question? Basically, how many types of memory do we have? Basically, how many types of memory we have? So clearly, if you look at the tree diagram, we can say there are three types of memories: sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. So the answer is three types. Okay. So next second question: which of the main subdivisions has further divisions? Which of the main subdivisions has further divisions? So if you look at the given diagram, under sensory memory there are no branches, and under short term memory also there are no branches, but under long term memory you can find different branches again. So that means the answer is, which of the main subdivisions has further divisions? The answer is long term memory, because under long term memory you can find the branches again. Okay, understand? Next, third one, state true or false. State true or false. So unconscious memory is also known as implicit memory. Unconscious memory is also known as implicit memory. So you see in the diagram. Okay, under long term memory, the second branch you can see implicit memory. Under implicit memory, under the bracket, you can see unconscious memory. That means implicit memory can also be called unconscious memory. That is what here it is saying. So unconscious memory is also known as implicit memory. So definitely this is true. Okay, so the answer is true. And fourth question, what comes under episodic memory? What comes under episodic memory? Where is episodic memory? You see the last one. Episodic memory, in the brackets you can see events and experiences. So the answer is events and experiences. And finally, short-term memory lasts for. Short-term memory lasts for. So what is the duration of short-term memory? That is less than 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. So that is the answer. So in this way, in our public examination, any pie diagram or tree diagram or bar graph or table or flow chart, any one of the questions are given. You have to answer these questions like this. So this is all about this class. In the next class, let's do some practice on the remaining table, bar diagram and flow chart. Okay, until then, bye, take care. And if you feel this video is useful to you, please like and share with your friends so that they can also learn. And thank you so much.